Oh, hey, I'm live. Shit. This is sweet. Finally, I got a laptop that will let me go live. Woo. Okay. Man. Either I'm blind, I'm just walking around the world naive as hell because I had no idea that the guy I voted for yesterday, just 24 hours ago, is a raging racist. That's right, guys. Ron DeSantis is a racist. You know how I know that? Do you know how I know Ron DeSantis is racist? Because the media told me he is. They told me today Ron DeSantis is a racist and I need to run the other way. They talk about how he's dog whistling racism. Can you guys believe this? Can you guys believe we found another racist? Took forever, but they finally proved that Trump is racist. Omarosa knew the guy for 15 years and she finally found out he's racist. So it's all been uncovered. Now it's all out in the open. No, seriously though. If you guys don't know what I'm talking about, I guess, Ron DeSantis went on, maybe it was Laura Ingraham, Tucker Carlson, I don't know who it was last night, but he was talking about his victory. And then they asked him about his opponent, like, what do you think about the guy you're running against? And he said something to the effect of, I'm going to pull up the actual quote just because I actually don't want to butcher this. I want to say it, the full quote, and then you guys be the judge. And you tell me your race. Tell me if it's racist or not. But while I'm looking up the quote, I need you guys, looks like 16 of you are watching, like this video right now. Please like it. And I'll give you some shout outs. Right Conservative, what's up? Michelle Harper, what's up? Let me look this quote up for you guys. Ron DeSantis, okay. Okay, I got 2 likes. 16 people watching. Okay, 7. Come on. All right, Florida's GOP gubernatorial nominee says they vote for his black opponent. Okay, here we go. This is ridiculous, okay? And of course, you guys see here, I'll pull it up if you can see it well. CNN, okay? I'm going to read this quote. Let me go find it. It's so crazy. He said, okay, they butchered it. They butchered the quote. What the hell? Okay. Anyways, Ron DeSantis, I guess, they're asking him, what do you think about, your opponent, Andrew Gillum? And he said, the last thing we need to do is monkey this up by trying to embrace a socialist agenda with huge tax increases and bankrupting the state. Okay, so obviously he was saying that to dog whistle his racist supporters, right? It's always about racism. Everything is racism. Did you know the white paint on my walls is racism? Did you know the white in this shirt is racism? You know that? Everything is racist, according to the left, right? So he came under fire. I saw today, like, almost every headline was calling him out for being racist. And it's just freaking ridiculous. They are so desperate. This reeks of desperation, right? The day after he wins and his opponent is black, obviously, the best thing they can do to try to garner support for his opponent is to smear him as a racist. So don't expect this to be the last that we hear of it. They're going to say something else. Anytime he trips up, they're going to find a way to say it's racism. But here's where we get to push back. Here's where I come in. Here's where I can add my strategic value. Who decides what's racist? Who's the first person who read that quote and said, you know what? I'm offended by this. Do you think it was a black person? Do you think it was a black liberal? Oh, I know. It was probably a white liberal. Right? That's it. It's probably a white liberal. You notice white liberals always. You can set your watch to white liberals hijacking the narrative of minorities and speaking on our behalf. You saw it with Anne Hathaway a month ago when she said, we need to wake up and realize that all black people fear for their lives when they leave the house every day. They're scared they're going to get beat up or shot. They're always worried. I'm like, thanks for saying that, but it's a lie. They did the same thing with Native Americans. When I lived in Minnesota, I'll tell you guys a funny story. The Washington Redskins came to Minnesota. They were playing the Vikings, and I happened to be driving by the stadium, and there were a bunch of protesters outside protesting the Redskins' name, as being racist. But from what I could see, and I could have, just not been looking that hard enough, every single one protesting that was white. I'm like, okay, so where are the Native Americans? How do they actually feel? Do they hate it? Do they hate it enough to protest it? If they do, Why aren't we putting them in the spotlight instead of a bunch of virtue signaling white people out there like, it's racist, Redskins is racist? It's always the white liberals, guys. I'm telling you, it's hilarious. You can just turn on your TV and see it. Like, the people who are calling racism out are not even the people that would be offended by the racism. The black liberals that are doing it, the talking heads on CNN and MSNBC, I mean, they're bought and paid for. They're race baiters. Like, that's their career. But the average, everyday black person, Hispanic, Filipino, whoever, the average person walking around the streets, they are not worried about racism the way a white liberal's worried about racism. The white liberal wants to feel good about it. Think about the statues that were up, right? And then I'm going to get off this tangent. You guys know I get on tangents, but I can't help it. I just got to go with the flow, okay? The statues, right? The Robert E. Lee statue, the one that they just tore down last week in North Carolina. It's all white liberals going to tear down the statue. And they're trying to make black people get upset. Like, this statue's offensive. You need to come out here and protest and have it taken down. But it's the white people that want it taken down. The white liberals want it taken down. Well, you know who put it up? The Democrats. So the Democrats put up the statue, and then they get mad that the statue's up, and then they take it down because it was the white Democrats that are the ones that were, you know, slave owners and all that, right? But anyway, back to this whole Ron DeSantis thing, right? So they're calling it racism. They're saying he's racist. And the quote that they said, it's very clear that Mr. DeSantis is taking a page directly from the campaign manual of Donald Trump. Gilliam actually said this. Wow. It's disgusting that Ron DeSantis is launching his general election campaign with racist dog whistles, said Florida Democratic Party chairwoman Terry Rizzo. Okay, I'm going to look up Terry Rizzo because I am curious what this person looks like. Let's see if I'm right, guys. Terry Rizzo. Is this person white or black? White or black? What say you? Before I show you the images of the person who said Ron DeSantis is racist, what color do you think this person is? White or black? Can you guys see that? You guessed it. White liberals hijacking the narrative, calling everything under the sun racist. She probably called it to Gilliam's attention, like, hey, you see this? You see this from Ron DeSantis? He just said monkeys. He said, we can't monkey up this state. Who's the racist here? Is Ron DeSantis racist? Yeah, he probably could have said something different because he should be smart enough to know they're going to take anything he says out of context, right? He's under a spotlight right now, or magnifying glass. You think he'd be smart enough to be like, let me tiptoe, walk on eggshells with this PC culture. He's not racist. Come on. You know who is racist? This lady. Because why, oh, why would this lady connect the dots and say, he said monkey? I mean, this guy's black. Black equals monkey. So who's really racist? Come on. Put this together, people. This is ridiculous. Call this out. Share this on Facebook. And let's challenge this narrative. Let's push back on it, because who gets to decide what's racist? I'd like to think, and I'm not an identity politics playing person. You guys know me, but I'd like to think I'm more qualified to decide if something is racist or not than a white person, okay? If someone says monkey, let me, a black person, decide if I think it's offensive or not. At least for me, but I can't speak on behalf of all black people. I don't speak on behalf of anybody else. But the fact of the matter is, the white liberals hijack these narratives, and then they just whip everyone into hysteria, because now you see the ripple effect. It's like throwing a stone in the middle of a pond. It just ripples outward because all the mainstream media headlines, they ran with it. They ran with it, and it doesn't make any sense whatsoever. So, of course, Ron DeSantis had to come out and make a statement like, no, I'm not racist. He's probably rolling his eyes, you know. But they do the same thing with Trump, so they're going to do it with him. And you know what? Don't be surprised if his polling numbers go up after this as a result. So maybe this could work in his favor. Maybe this whole racist narrative, everything is racist. Everyone who's not a white liberal is racist. Everyone who's a conservative, everyone who's right-wing, you're literally racist. Okay, keep doing that. Keep doing that, because you notice when they do that with our president, his ratings go up. At the very least, they stagnate. They stay still. They do not go down. Think about that border crisis, right, where they were literally ripping children away from parents. Well, his polling numbers went up amongst Hispanics, his approval rating. Think about right after Charlottesville, right after the anniversary of Charlottesville, that Unite the Right thing came out the next day. Donald Trump's approval rating amongst blacks went up to like 36%. So maybe it's working out for the better, even though it pisses me off. It's just so annoying to see these people do this. Okay, let's see. We got 43 people watching, 23 likes. Come on, guys. I need 43 likes. If you're watching this right now, please like it. Please like it. Please like it, because that's what moves it up in the algorithms. I'm telling you guys, like, YouTube is not playing games. They are going to come shutting down conservative channels. I am really, really shocked now that Alex Jones has been gone for a couple of weeks. I'm surprised they haven't gone after Steven Crowder, Mark Dice, Paul Joseph Watson, PragerU. They're going after them next, and then they're going to start knocking down. They're going to go after Brandon Tatum. They're going to go after Anthony Brian Logan, and they don't need much reason to do it. They can say, like, yeah, you made something that you made a claim that sounds like conspiracy theory talk, so you get a strike, and we're going to go back and find videos you made 2.5 years ago, and we're going to give you 3 strikes, and now your channel's gone. So I hope that doesn't happen for those guys, but I mean, we gotta be mindful that that's what they're after right now. They are so desperate to win back seats so they can impeach our president, and the only way we can stop them is by putting common sense out into the ether and just letting it float around. So for those of you guys that are going to share this, just know you're doing your country a service, because the more truth gets out there, it might hit someone upside the head. Like, you know what? MSNBC is lying. Like, maybe I should use my common sense, because they've been telling me all day Ron DeSantis is a raging racist and he loves the KKK and he's just dog whistling all these hateful white people. You know, mind you, they're probably the same white people that voted for Barack Obama twice. Now all of a sudden they're racist. Okay. You know, might wake more people up if we can just talk a little bit of common sense into them. If we can also push back against the white liberals, the ones that hijack the narrative and decide what's racist and decide what language we're going to use, decide, okay, we're going to back off of saying gun control. We're just going to say gun safety measures. We're not going to regulate guns. We just want gun safety, which really means gun control. You know, you got to stop using their language. We have to stop using their language. I noticed that myself. I even fall victim to the PC culture because it's so deceptive, guys. It's so deceptive. When I'm using terms like illegal immigrant, that's a euphemism. It's illegal alien. So I vow to only use the term to correctly describe what it is I'm talking about. So illegal alien is all I'm going to say now. I'm not going to say undocumented immigrant, you know, migrant workers. No, illegal aliens. That's what they are. That's what they need to be called. Let's call it what it is. That's why you got to love Donald Trump, man, because he's a battering ram against this PC culture. He's knocking it down. He kicked open the door, and the rest of us are running in like, what up? We're going to talk normal talk. We're not going to be tiptoeing around our speech. You're not going to shut down our speech. We're going to tell it like it is. So that's really all I wanted, guys. I just wanted to get that off my chest. Like, it's crazy how not even 24 hours ago, I was feeling all good about, you know, going to vote in my first primary election. And it felt really good to finally, like, recognize how far I've come and learning about politics. And I actually voted based on knowledge that I have and research that I've done, and not based on skin color. Like, well, let me vote for the black guy. Let me just circle Democrat all the way down. And not even 24 hours later, the guy I voted for is apparently racist. That makes me wonder, maybe my videos are getting around in Florida. Maybe people are seeing, wow, there are black people that actually voted for Ron DeSantis. There are black people that support him. We got to get them back on the plantation. So we'll trip him up with anything he says, and we're going to paint it as racist. Let me ask you this, okay? What if he just changed it up a little bit? What if he just said, you know, I'm happy to be running against Andrew Gillum, you know, but you know what? The socialist ideas, it's going to throw a monkey wrench into everything that Rick Scott did for the state. Monkey wrench, right? Is that racist too? Monkey wrench equals black person? Is that how it works? I don't know. I don't know if there's any white liberals watching. Maybe they can come in the comment section and tell me, actually, that is racist. Or no, monkey wrench, that's good. That's a protected term. You don't have to worry about it. But if he says monkey business, that's racist. Ron DeSantis better not even eat a banana, because if he does, he's dog whistling racist. He's mocking his opponent. I'm like, the people who think this stuff in their heads are the real racists. Are the real racists. Are you kidding me? The people who think this crap up are the literal racists. You know, you have to literally be racist to come up with the idea that white people are superior to other races. It's the white liberals who coined the term white supremacy. They coined that term because they believed in their mind that white people are superior to other races, right? But no one ever wants to look back and say, why do I say this word? Why is the word shit a bad word? Who decided that book means this and not that? See, that's what I mean. Like, you got to trace it back and wonder, who decided that we need to say things the way that we say them? Who decided what's offended, what's offensive? Who gets to decide all this shit, guys? Those are the questions we need to ask. Those are the questions I'm asking, because I don't like being told what is or isn't, what I can and can't do. And I'm sick and tired of these authoritarian liberals telling me what is and what isn't. I feel like I'm just rambling at this point, guys. I don't know. I just wanted to check in, kind of do a little ranting, talk about how the guy I voted for yesterday apparently is racist. I guess I should go in and to the state of Florida, see like, hey, can I retract my vote? Can I switch to the black guy? Would that help if I just vote Democrat down the board? Or can we share this with more people so they can do their own research and recognize that big government is not good for anyone. Humans weren't meant to be governed, okay? And what they've done with their liberal ideology, this Marxist ideology, this socialist ideology, they want this communist state. And that's what they're pushing for. And one thing that's scary, and then I'm going to get off of here, okay? One thing that is a little bit scary is the fact that socialists are starting to infiltrate the ranks of the Democrat Party. While I say it's a good thing because it helps, their party is now splintered because it's going to confuse voters. Like, well, do I vote for this person who's technically running as a Democratic Socialist, or do I vote for this person? It's causing confusion. While that's good, it's also bad that they're gaining traction. We thought it was just a fringe element. When it was Ocasio-Cortez, we thought it was just her. Like, oh, there's no one else doing that. It's not a thing. Well, more and more Democratic Socialists are starting to bubble up, okay? And if they're bubbling up, that means they're gaining support. That means people are listening to them. And that's scary because as the country becomes more diverse, the demographics are shifting. Yes, I'm going to talk about the shifting demographics. I'm allowed to do that because I'm a sacred cow. I'm in the protected class. It's the white people that can't talk about it, right? My white conservative friends that can't talk about it. Laura Ingraham, she can't talk about it because she's a white nationalist racist if she talks about shifting demographics. But shifting demographics impact me because I don't want big government. But we also have to be honest, guys. The black and brown people, think about these countries that they're coming from. They're coming from big government societies. They've only known government dependency. They've only known tyrannical oppressive systems, right? So when they come here, they're going to vote for what they fled. A lot of them probably don't even know how capitalism truly works in a free market. And then also the Democrats are using scare tactics on them. Using scare tactics like Republicans don't like you. They don't like brown people. They're going to vote to take away all of our safety nets. All of our social safety nets are going to be gone. What you need to do is vote for me because I'm going to restore all of that. I'm going to get you free college, free health care. Someone else is going to pay for it. You don't even have to work. Here's your food stamps. Here's your house. Here's your free car. You get a free puppy. Everything you want is free. Here's an Obama phone. They're telling people that because they want them to vote for what they fled. They don't realize that they're voting for the same exact thing that they ran away from. But it's these countries like Venezuela, like Cuba, I guess Puerto Rico, well, not really Puerto Rico, Brazil, all these different countries in Central and South America, and of course, Africa, Southeast Asia, where they've had like communism before, they're used to bigger government. So when they come over here, they're naturally going to gravitate towards Democrats. And if Democrats have a socialist ideology or socialist leaning, that's not good for us. So therefore, shifting demographics does matter. And that's why people need to be educated and understand, okay, big government is a symbol to kind of tread on your individual rights. And if you tread on your individual rights, you're not living your sovereign life. You're not living your divine purpose. Your divine purpose is to be sovereign. You're free like a bird is free. You're free like a grasshopper is free. You're free like an animal is free. The only reason you exist within this bubble is because there was already a system in place, a system of control, a system of power, right? So when you have a system like that in place and you're not aware to it, you're not connected to the divine, you're not seeing beyond this like low density bubble we live in, you're going to just exist within it. You're going to feed into identity politics and you're just going to buy in. You're not going to think outside of it. Like, wait a minute, can't we pierce through this? Do I need to be governed by another human? It's just another human. Why do they get to decide how much money I can have? Why do they get to tax me? Why do they get to say which healthcare provider I can have? Why do they get to do all of this? They're just another human. They're flawed just like me, right? So when they're talking about these socialists and, you know, Democrats and all this, like, yeah, what we need is the safety net. They're encouraging government dependency. And they're at the same time discouraging individuality, which discourages your creativity, which discourages your defined purpose. There's a reason why the United States has so many inventions. I talked about this already. And why countries like China, they're like light years behind in terms of the inventions. I'm talking like game-changing, life-altering, society-changing inventions. Think about inventions like Uber, Lyft, Airbnb. Those are jobs for people. Those are jobs for people to become independently wealthy or to get a taste of what it's like to be financially independent. If you run your own house and you have an Airbnb bed and breakfast, guess what? You get a taste of what it's like to be financially independent as opposed to living in Section 8 housing. And then every 4 years, the Democrats come around like, yeah, Republicans are racist. They want to take away your Section 8 and all your handouts. So you should vote for me and I'll fight that for you. It doesn't encourage anyone. There's no incentive there to live out your divine purpose, which is to be creative, sovereign, free thinking, you know. Anyways, guys, it's already been 20 minutes. I never want my live streams to be too long because if I make them too long, people won't rewatch them. You know, they won't have as many views. And right now, views and likes are important to help the channel grow because I really do think that sorry, guys, I keep looking over here because there's birds around this pond. I really do think they're going to start shutting down conservative channels. So far, I don't have any strikes. Fingers crossed I don't get any. I try not to cuss too much because I feel like they're going to look for anything to catch me slipping. But anyway, I don't want my videos to be too long because I need to get the likes and the views up. So if you guys are watching, please like, please share, please subscribe. Follow me on Twitter. Find me on all the social media. I'm on Facebook, Snapchat, Instagram, all the social medias. Love you guys. Thank you for tuning in. I will catch you guys in the next video. Peace.